Chapter 1, The Forgotten Valley. The mountainous region of Erin holds many secrets, but none as mysterious as Sen Valley. The valley was once the thriving home of the Sen people, known for their lush orchards and sacred rituals that kept the land in harmony. But generations ago, it fell silent. The only trace of its existence is whispered through old tales and maps, now forgotten by most. Alara, a brave and stubborn adventurer, has a personal connection to the valley. Her brother Cale disappeared after receiving word of an ancient treasure hidden there. Armed only with his cryptic journal, Alara treks into the dense, fog-covered valley. Upon entering, she feels an unnatural stillness as the birds fall silent and even the wind seems afraid to move. Echoes that sound like distant voices reach her ears, unnerving her as she journeys deeper into the valley's heart. Chapter 2, Shadows in the Mist. As Alara presses forward, she stumbles upon a dilapidated cabin. Inside, she meets an old hermit named Garin, the last soul to resist the valley's curse. He lives alone, surrounded by talismans and sigils meant to ward off evil spirits. Garin warns Alara of the valley's doom, that it is cursed by a spirit known as the Guardian of Echoes. The Sen people, once devoted to the spirit, failed to uphold their part of the ancient pact, which turned the protector into a malevolent entity. Garin tells her that the valley is not empty, but rather full of tormented souls, shadowy figures that can only be seen in the thick mist. These figures whisper in a lost language, trying to lure the living into their world. That night, Alara tries to sleep in the cabin, but she is plagued by nightmares and awakened by the whispers. Shadows dance on the walls, hinting that someone or something is watching her every move. Chapter 3, The Heart of the Curse. Determined to find Cale, Alara disregards Garin's warning and ventures deeper into the valley. She follows the clues in Cale's journal, leading her to the ruins of Sen, a place of broken statues, overgrown altars, and crumbling stone pillars. The ruins tell a tragic story of how greed poisoned the hearts of the Sen leaders, leading them to abandon the sacred rituals that kept the Guardian of Echoes benevolent. Without the offerings, the spirit's power turned dark, and it began devouring the souls of those it once protected. In the depths of the ruins, Alara finds a hidden chamber where her brother's belongings lie scattered. The chamber is marked with strange runes and an altar stained with dark red blood. Alara is drawn toward a shadowy figure in the corner. As she approaches, the figure reveals itself as her brother, but his eyes are hollow, and his skin pale, caught between life and death. A ghostly voice booms through the chamber as the Guardian of Echoes manifests. It accuses Alara of trespassing and declares that the curse cannot be broken unless she proves herself worthy. Chapter 4, The Spirit's Trial. The Guardian offers Alara one chance to redeem her brother and break the curse. She must undergo a trial, a series of challenges designed to test her heart, mind, and spirit. The first challenge is of courage. Alara faces visions of her worst fears, Cale's death, her own failures, and a world where she is utterly alone. The second challenge is of loyalty. Illusions appear, tempting Alara with the treasures and power she sought in her travels. To overcome these trials, she recalls her bond with her brother and the sacrifices they made for each other. The final trial tests her wisdom. Alara is shown two paths. One leads to her own safety but condemns her brother to eternal suffering. The other offers a way to save Cale but requires Alara to risk her own life. Understanding the nature of the curse, Alara realizes that the only way to appease the Guardian is by demonstrating selflessness. She chooses to risk herself to save Cale, and the chamber lights up with an ethereal glow. Chapter 5, Breaking the Curse. Having passed the trials, Alara is granted one wish. Instead of using it solely for Cale's freedom, she wishes to free all souls bound to the curse and restore balance to the valley. The Guardian, moved by her compassion, lifts the curse. The dark mist dissipates, and the twisted shadows fade into the light, finally at peace. Cale, now fully restored, collapses into his sister's arms, free at last. The valley begins to heal as wildflowers bloom where there was once only barren soil. The sun breaks through the clouds, shining on the valley for the first time in centuries. The ruins crumble, signaling the end of the valley's tragic chapter. Alara and Cale leave the valley together, taking with them the lessons learned, of greed, sacrifice, and the importance of keeping promises made to the spirits that govern the world. As they reach the edge of the valley and look back one final time, they see a place once dark now bathed in golden sunlight, a land reborn through courage and compassion.